And Howe will throw it. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. That's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Robinson up the middle. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd down, Howell now. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 14. A gain there of 21 yards.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching him try to take away that area of the field.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Sly able to put this one through. And the Commanders get out to a 3-0 lead. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And we already knew that Hurts was a good quarterback. But last year, he moved to elite status. Under his guidance, the Eagles returned to the Super Bowl and nearly won it. And he's also one of the league's most dangerous players. Thrown for 38 touchdowns his last 2 seasons and run for another 23.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they're ruled incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
2nd and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. This is Smith to the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. And they'll fake it there on the jet sweep, and instead, here's Swift. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to 43. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Hurts. And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And how about this, a fake? And this is caught, and the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
I'm not sure that the surprise was that they actually faked it. That's classic territory to go ahead and do it. The surprise to me is that they were successful. I'm not sure the defense was really prepared.
And now they're going to keep the drive alive here. Really big play on the fake punt. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And this is going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now a 2nd and 10. They go play action with Hurts. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 19. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Well, we know he can run the football too, but He's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Here's Swift. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
2nd down. Here's Hurts. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Eagles have taken the lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2nd down, Howell back to pass. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
On 1st down, Hurts over the middle, complete. That's Smith. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. On 2nd down, Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed them up.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Hurts sets up to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in.
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. It takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Commanders preparing for their next possession. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster. Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Howell. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Howell's got this one to Robinson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's got the 1st down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Howell's throw into the hands of McLaurin. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
2nd down and a run by Robinson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
My high school football coach was very fond of saying, you've got to meet force with force. And on a short yardage running play, that's what you're going to encounter. And how about them picking up the first down on that one?
Back to Robinson now on first down. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. So from the 37, here's second down and 8. Powell. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Back to throw. Howell. Throw out wide is incomplete. Fourth down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And that is no good. And they will remain 2 scores down as the difference holds at 11.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
22 yards there, a first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Hurts throw complete there to Smith. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Let's mark, baby. Come on, let's do it. Let's dominate this.
2 yards to go, second down. From the gun, it's Hurts. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. And the Eagles are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break, but I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
What's the deal, y'all?
(17-3) the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Hurts. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. To say they've kept him out of bounds running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutral.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know, all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. No, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Gets this out quickly to Dotson. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Howell, he'll look to throw it. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. On the option to give to Swift here. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. DeAndre Swift, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
And as a defensive coordinator, you're almost in a no-win situation down here near the goal line. You know how dangerous Jalen Hurts is when he holds on to it. You've got to be prepared to stay with him. So when he hands it off, if you're slow in reacting, this is going to be the result.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
From the gun on third down, Howell. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Pulled in at the 24. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
In the 3rd quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
The Eagles send out their punter now. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. And the Washington offense heading out. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now 1st and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders.
Right at the 30.
He'll get it to Robinson to begin the drive.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 9. Howell from the gun.
He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
It's a 1st down Washington on a pickup of 18.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. And right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 36. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
On 1st down, Howell. That one is slant to McLaurin.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Now they go play action with Howell. Short throw there, caught by Thomas.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
3rd and 1. Howell's going to throw it. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
4th down, Howell, desperation time.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him.
And he is going to have a Washington 1st down. They didn't get a lot, but they do convert on 4th.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
2nd down, Howell back to pass. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This offense so far on third down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Howell. It's complete to Robinson. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a
touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson from 6 yards away. And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them at the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, here's Swift. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here is 3rd and 5. Hurts sets up to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Swift going to try up the middle. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Cameron Curl with the tackle that time. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On third down, here comes Swift. And Swift is not going to get there as they stop him short of the yellow line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
Now, there was a time when I would have been upset at teams throwing the ball with a big lead late, but I've evolved a little bit. I've come around. Ultimately, they're looking for first downs, and if they think the air is the best place to do it, then so be it. In addition, you probably got a quarterback gets a nice bonus if he keeps completing passes. So they want to keep throwing the football? Fine by me.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Hurts. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. Touchdown, Eagles. DeAndre Swift. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Washington ready to try again on offense. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Howell's throw complete there to Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Mental mistakes out there, offense.
Here's Howell to throw on 2nd down. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Howell to the air on 1st and 10. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington 1st down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to get...
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Cox, still one of the league's top defensive tackles, and remains a huge presence. 7 sacks last year, adds another win to his career total there.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Howell. And his throw is incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Howell. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18.
They absolutely had to take some chances downfield trailing here in the 4th quarter.
So why not go 4 verticals, send the guys down. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. With a play fake, and now here's Howell to throw it. Touchdown! Curtis Samuel, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead will be cut down to 14. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores. Side kick. And the Eagles are going to recover. And that might be enough to put a bow on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we sign off from Landover.